Welcome to OnCore Live 2022. I'm your host, Robin Bell, and we are really glad that you're here with us today. This is our second product and technology webisode, and we've got an exciting program for you today. So get ready for the latest trends and information to help you better serve your customers and grow your business. On today's webcast, we're going to focus on product technology and innovations in the building and construction industry and the continually evolving EV battery segment. You're going to hear about some impressive advancements in both segments, which are creating new opportunities for pressure-sensitive adhesive technologies. We'll have a question and answer at the end of the broadcast, but you can send those questions to us throughout the webcast and we'll address them at that time. And please post those questions in the Q&A tab on your meeting toolbar and not in chat. During today's OnCore Live, we're going to talk to Luke Johnson, Avery Dennison's Performance Tapes new product development engineer. Luke is going to share what he's learned attending the recent 2022 battery show, and he's going to provide an overview of new products and technologies recently added to the EV battery portfolio. We're going to begin the conversation with Kevin Jewell, Avery Dennison Product Manager for Building and Construction. Kevin's going to share with us the many opportunities for pressure-sensitive adhesives in building and construction. Everything from interior surfaces to building envelopes. He's also going to give us insight into the trends that shape the segment, and he's going to introduce us to a newly formed team that's focused on PSA technologies in this space. Promises to be an interesting and fun conversation. So with that, I want to welcome Kevin to the show. Kevin, glad to have you with us today.
Thanks, Robin. Happy to be here.
Good. Let's get started. So will you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with Avery Dennison's Performance Tapes?
Sure. I have been in the building and construction and tapes and film industry for over 25 years. I know that's hard to believe, but I've been in that for 25 years. I've been with Avery Dennison for the last year and a half. I recently moved into the product management role for building and construction, and what that means here is that not only managing the product side of it, but the overall business of that segment for us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. So the building and construction team, what's the importance of a new team dynamic?
Well, we're really excited about this. As we put the building and construction segment together and put a renewed focus on it, it was important to us to create a core team. You know, Avery Dennison is a large corporation, and it's important to have champions for different areas so that we can really bring the needs of our external customers inside, and that we can put together programs and products to address those. And so, you know, from our team, having Dave and Rebecca as cornerstones of that is critical. You know, Rebecca heads up our business development side, has significant years in the business, and is able really to understand our customers and what those needs are and bring it back to the organization. Where Dave really adds value is on the technical side of that. And he's been with Avery Dennison for over 20 years, and he can talk both the languages of the customer and internally for us. So these people in our team really act as advocates, and it allows us to really kind of identify, align, and execute. And that's really our path forward.
Rebecca and Dave both are dynamos for the team and a great part of the team. What do you mean when you say identify, align, and execute? Are you talking about a focus, or is this a mantra that the team follows?
It's really both, Robin. You know, for us, it encapsulates how we want to engage against this segment. So by identify, you know, we mean really understanding what the needs are of both the marketplace and our specific customers. And we do that by focus groups, by one-on-one conversations with both our existing customers, whether they be our strong converter program or the OEMs that we work with. So through that, we're able to understand what the needs are and what the opportunities might be for the space. So then from the alignment standpoint, that's where the team really becomes important, because it allows us to look at our collective resources within Avery Dennison and see how do we put our programs and goods and services together to align to what those needs are in the market. And really the execute side of it, none of it's important unless you really put plans to execute and be successful and keep score on how you're doing. And through that, we want to create opportunities for our core converters, for our industry leading OEMs, and for customers that we're not even doing business with yet, so that we, future customers, so that through this, if we execute properly, we're making those connections, we're adding value to our customers and the value and increasing their value to their respective customers.
So identify, align, execute, the trifecta. So in effect, it's a collaborative focus, and it really benefits the customer in making things a lot easier, and also the team as well. What else are you seeing in the building and construction segment that our viewers should know about?
Sure, and it's I like the slide on the nails and screws here, and certainly an important historical part of our business, the business of building and construction, and wish those people well. But we think we have a better mousetrap as it relates to how adhesives and tapes are used, and we're seeing more of that in varied applications. The requirements are becoming more stringent, both environmentally and in performance, and tapes and adhesives we feel are the next tech in this space to meet those needs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in this slide we are talking historical sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk briefly about 2B and C areas where PSAs are creating new opportunities, interiors and exteriors. So first, why don't we talk a little bit more about the opportunities in interiors?
The first way we engaged our team was really looking at what we mean when we say construction, because that's a nebulous word that you ask 10 people and you'll get 11 different answers. And so it's important that we say what it means. And so we defined it as both interior and exterior from simple standpoints. But when we talk about interior, it's where are all the places on the inside of a building where adhesives and tapes and films can play an important part in how those are set up and established. And so you see everything from key parts of a home here. We're using residential in this example, but commercial could also fit that. So through our group, we've looked at this and said, where can adhesives and tapes be used in the inside of a building in place of former technologies? And so through that, we identified a need, our needs, and we looked at our technologies. We brought together a collection of products. Some of them are products that are already in our offering, but not positioned properly. Others are new, permanent removables that, Luke Johnson, who talks later, really helped us in the development of those type of products. So we've put together, and you can see this now on our website. So come Q4, there's going to be a launch of interior opportunities, and those are going to show, both our converters and our OEMs what we mean when we say interior surfaces, and how we can, be a part of what they need to do.
So is this portfolio available, the interior surfaces portfolio, is that available now?
It is. And so you'll see on our website, we kind of call it a soft launch. This has been positioned on our website. A number of these products are part of our core series. So our converting partners will be familiar with a number of these products. And we've actually talked to some of our key core converters to see, do we have the right offering here? And that's helped us define what's there. So they'll see that. What there will be in Q4 is a full launch of this, where we're speaking not only to our converting partners, but to OEMs. And we've already started talking with some key interior surface OEMs And also specifiers. We find that architects are really important as you look into this. And so these sub-markets will have specific focus in Q4. And that's what we mean about execute. So not just putting this together, but then how do we engage both ourselves and how do our customers engage? And Q4 will be the full effect of that.
This is going to be pretty exciting launch, I think. What about the opportunities around exterior solutions?
And that's the next big piece for us. Remember, we talked about it in simple terms, the inside and the outside. And so from an exterior standpoint, that's really going to be a big part of next year, of the next fiscal year of 2023, and launching in Q1. But we talk about the building envelope. And so what are all the different tapes and adhesives that can be used to seal buildings, also to allow buildings to breathe, but to put together things that will meet those needs. And there are a lot of changes coming in the building and construction side. You know, there's a push now towards more modular homes in North America, where a whole home is being, you know, constructed in one space as opposed to being built on a location that it will reside. So we find a good piece of our products will fit that. So a lot of the type of work we did with interior surfaces, we're now engaged on the exterior side of the building envelope. And so there are a host of products that we'll have as part of that. And one of those will really be our Cold Tough series.
Oh yeah, and you're going to be talking about this in the launch in Q1, right? 2023.
Yeah, so the Cold Tough will be, as we'll talk about later, and Luke will talk about Flame Tough on the EV battery side. Cold Tough will have the same kind of prominence for us in our building envelope. And that's a patented adhesive structure that we have that has a wide operation range and operating range, and will allow for its use in a number of applications. And so that technology you'll see in a number of products for us as we get into Q1 of next year. And you know, the construction business right now, it's, you know, the markets as a whole are a bit of a challenge, but if you look at it, you know, we have a CAGR going of just under 5% in this space, and construction will continue, both residential and commercial. And we do a lot of work already on windows and doors, and that will continue. And it's important, when I talked before about architects, is that we get spec'd in, so that allows our converters to be able to supply our products into their customers. So there's a lot of work that we're already underway on that hasn't been seen yet, that'll start to come into fold in Q1.
So the building envelope, let's talk about this. With the building envelope, you're looking at structural products that have to withstand some of the harshest conditions. How do PSAs have that kind of strength and durability?
Well, it comes through years of us doing work. You know, if you think of the Fason side of our brand and what we do in HVAC and MI space, what we've learned in that is that those technologies have a place in other parts of building and construction, and that customers are looking for high quality products because they have to maintain themselves for years. And so our products go into a number of certifications, you know, for UL certification where necessary, and then also both in Europe and North America, you know, building requirements that are there. So these adhesives and structures have to withstand years and decades of exposure. And so our R&D team, our technical teams, the greater Avery Dennison, from an adhesive standpoint, from the ability to make tapes, we have an integrated solution in being able to supply those things into the building and construction side. And that gives us confidence that these products will maintain their integrity and help that construction site in the same.
Well said. Yeah, this was a really interesting conversation, Kevin. You gave us a lot of great information about the building and construction segment, the new team, and Cold Tough technology. Thanks for spending time with us. Now, for more information on building and construction adhesives portfolio families, visit tapes.averydennison.com/building and construction. As a reminder, We're going to have a Q&A at the end of the broadcast, but you can certainly send questions to us anytime during the broadcast. And please post those questions in the Q&A tab on your meeting toolbar. The automotive industry, it continues to search for viable adhesive and tape solutions that meet the technology and safety requirements for electric vehicles and battery packs. And coming off of the battery show, we've got some new information and innovations to share with you. Avery Dennison is the R&D leader creating the PSA innovations that are driving the EV battery pack revolution. And joining us now to talk EV is Avery Dennison Performance Tapes' Luke Johnson. Hey, Luke, welcome to OnCore Live. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, Robin. Happy to be part of the show.
Yeah, good. So, would you begin by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role with Avery Dennison Performance Tapes?
Sure. I've been with Avery Dennison Performance Tapes for 7 years. I'm a senior R&D engineer, and my responsibilities include automotive, but also building, construction, and many other segments. And I'm usually responsible for researching, developing, trialing, and launching new concepts and products for performance tapes. Over the years, I've been intimately involved in the development and launch of several generations for EV battery portfolios, including this next generation flame tough rubber, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that. Why don't we talk about EV batteries and the opportunities for tapes in the battery pack? Why are pressure sensitive solutions important?
I think the number one reason that automotive OEMs turn to PSAs is for the speed of assembly and the potential for speed of assembly, because of they offer instant green strength. You're not waiting for a cure, and even more importantly, you're not waiting for a cure that could go wrong on expensive parts, which could lead to downtime or scrap. Our Avery Dennison solutions are backed by material science, and so they are specially formulated and designed for whatever materials are being used. And of course, they're there to help make battery packs safer, less flammable, more efficient for assembly, lighter, cheaper, and help solve common challenges like, dielectric protection and flame retardancy.
Yeah, a lot there to cover, and I'm excited to talk about all of this. So let's talk more about reducing flammability. What is it about the EV battery that makes flame retardant properties in specific PSAs so important and necessary?
Yeah, thermal runaway event is a very serious concern for automotive and battery manufacturers. There are tighter and tighter requirements being released every year. And as the pack voltage goes higher, you may have seen, well, I didn't see this problem before in batteries, but as that voltage for the pack goes higher, that concern for a short and a runaway event to happen is higher. The cell can overheat and get to temperatures greater than 600 degrees C, and then this heat will travel from cell to cell, and without any protection and with presence of oxygen will combust and set on fire. So obviously you can imagine this is a very heavy topic of focus for automotive OEMs and battery OEMs.
Yeah.
I really like this slide here because it kind of shows two different test methods that can be used to evaluate materials before they go in the pack. And many have probably heard these of UL94 VTM, which is for thin materials, and UL94V, which is more for thicker composite materials. The image that you see on the right, I really love. It shows what a traditional non-FR rated PET would look like when exposed to a flame for only a few seconds. And then you can see what flame tough looks like after exposed to flame. The flame will extinguish and not propagate, and will help protect the battery pack, or at least not contribute to any further propagation.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful image. So what about the materials that are used in battery packs? How does flame tough stick?
Well, what's unique about Avery Dennison is we've now launched 3 different classes of adhesives from our flame tough line, which includes an acrylic, silicone, and now newly a rubber. And this is really going to be needed depending on what materials or substrates you are bonding to, and maybe some of the conditions of the pack. As I'll talk about later, the designs for battery packs and the modules are changing rapidly by the day for what materials are being used. And so having a wide portfolio to select from for for flammability is important. And really want to hone in on the use of plastics in the battery pack. Plastics, especially low surface energy plastics like polypro, offer challenges for bonding for a lot of the acrylic tapes that are out there, which is why we launched our Flame Tough rubber line, being able to bond to these plastics, which are being used for lighter weight. They don't corrode from cathodic corrosion. They are obviously sometimes cheaper, and then they don't conduct electricity, which can offer a problem for batteries. So there's a lot of reasons that OEMs are moving to plastics and why rubber would be needed.
Yeah. So you were mentioning dielectric properties. So what are dielectric properties, and also what new advancements do they offer?
Yes, so dielectric protection is another very common theme in battery pack design. You know, as your voltages go up, that it can arc more easily through the air to anything that is conductive, and so all surfaces that's metal or can conduct need to be protected. And surfaces can include the module for the batteries themselves, like a cylindrical cell, cooling plates, and we're actually launching another new tape for the portfolio, which is for our conformable dielectric, which offers the ability to conform around really tight radii and curvatures that you might see in a pack. A lot of customers out there are using PIs or PETs, which are great for flat surfaces, but the minute that they need to really bend around a corner to really bond well, they fall short, which is why this new conformable dielectric tape was launched.
So why don't we finish up with this? I know you just got back from the battery show. It was just a couple weeks ago. Can you give us your impression of the show, and also what you found most beneficial at the show?
Yeah, it was a great show. It was very popular. It was packed wall to wall. That's a great image of my colleague Kyle talking there. One thing I saw a lot of with the different displays for pack designs is from the show from the year before is a lot more plastics were being used in the design of the battery pack, which means flame tough rubber or a rubber adhesive for those low surface energies are going to become more important.
Yeah, so to what you were talking about with the plastics a moment ago, this is really interesting and exciting. And this is just incredible how fast the EV segment is moving and innovating. I'm curious to see where we end up, where we go. It was a pleasure having you with us today, Luke, and we appreciate your expertise and all this great information that you gave us. So for more information on the EV battery portfolio, visit tapes.averydennison.com/EV battery. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we are just about ready to move to the Q&A with our guests. But before we do, you still have time to submit a question. You can post it now in the Q&A on the meeting toolbar. We also want to let you know that OnCore Live continues in December with the next installment of OnCore Live Industry Insights session. Watch your email for the Q4 invitation. Okay, so our two guests are back with us for our viewer Q&A. All right, let's see our first question. Oh, Luke, this is for you. The question is, what do I need to know when recommending or quoting a conformable dielectric tape with Avery Dennison? Do I work with a specific member of your team? Goes to our conversation a moment ago.
Yeah, the best person to work with would be your account manager. And if you don't know your account manager, you can reach out to the website to find it. As for what are the questions or things you want to know, is you're going to want to know what the dielectric requirement is. And most automotive OEMs will list that. I've seen numbers anywhere from 7 to 11 kilovolts. Breakdown strength is usually what they're looking for.
Okay, how about Kevin? Okay, this looks like what exterior applications will be included with the Q1 launch that you mentioned? How do I get more information?
The website will be a good place for new information. If you're an existing customer of ours, as Luke said, your account manager will be key in that. Some of the products that'll be a part of that are seaming tapes that we would use from a house wrap standpoint, various vapor barrier tapes. Some are existing for us and others are currently under development. So there'll be a host of products that will fit everything from a containment or a barrier standpoint on the exterior building envelope.
Here's a question from Michael. Is Flame Tough already available in the US? This one is for you, Luke.
Yes, samples for Flame Tough are available in the US. So if you reach out to your account manager, they can get samples, 9-inch sample rolls sent to your attention for testing.
Okay, that's good. All right, let's see, what have we got here now? Kevin, how has Avery Dennison's work in HVAC and mechanical insulation helped with entering new segments, especially when it comes to cold and hot and humid environments? That's a good question.
That is a good question. As many on the call may know, our Fason brand is key in HVAC and mechanical insulation, and it's given us a vast number of opportunities over the years. And what we've really learned through our adhesives and our various technologies in terms of face stock and carriers is the ability to perform in those varied temperatures. And so we do a lot of work with UL to make sure that we have the right certifications for our products, and that gives confidence to our customers that our products will be the right fit. And any of us who've done work and seen work in our homes will see the Fason brand in those. And so that same reliance on our ability to perform in those technologies are playing well for us on the exterior surface or building envelope side. And Cold Tough in particular will be a good part of what that offering will be.
Okay, so we have another EV battery question, and this one is from Jared. Why would rubber adhesives be more important with plastics?
So not all plastics are created equal. So there are some higher surface energy plastics like ABS or polycarb, but polypro, polyethylene, a lot of the acrylic adhesives out there, which are designed for flame retardant, including our own Flame Tough acrylic, don't bond as well to low surface energy plastics. They do great to steel and aluminum, which were common materials in the battery pack, but as they lightweight and go to these plastics, that low surface energy bonding is going to be more important.
Okay, we've got time for just a couple more questions. This one is also for you, Luke. This is, if we have a new EV application or are unsure of our recommendation, is Avery Dennison available to help with testing or custom solutions?
Absolutely. That's what we do the best, I think. We have a really strong technical service team, and they get excited when they hear about new things that they want to test. So, again, reach out through your account manager and they'll be introduced your technical service rep. So, if you're a current customer of Avery Dennison, you should have one, and they'd be happy to jump on a call and talk to you about what testing may be needed to identify the proper tape.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we've got time for one more question. This is for you, Kevin. How or who do I engage with the building and construction team if I have an opportunity?
So a couple of points of that. As we talked before, account managers are critical in that for your connection. Business development manager, Rebecca, that you saw earlier in our list of our teams, works with opportunities that we have. And so that's a good connection point. And through our website. So you'll see through the website, you'll see the team, the ability to connect with any of the three of us. But if you have an account manager, that would be the first place that you would start.
So we couldn't get to all the questions, but you can certainly reach out to your representative to get any other questions that you have relating to our conversations today with Luke and Kevin. You guys, this was great. I really enjoyed it. That's it for this episode of OnCore Live Product and Technology Sessions. From all of us at OnCore Live, we want to thank you for joining us today. Have a great fall season, and we'll see you in December.